वाले की जय, श्याम प्यारे की जय।
Hello everyone, welcome back. So we'll continue with exercise 10.1 today. We had completed questions 5 in the previous video. Now question 6, it says in the given figure a common base BC, on common base BC two isosceles triangles, that is triangle PBC and triangle QBC, lie on both sides of BC. Now prove that line joining P and Q bisects line segment BC at 90 degree. So here now what is given? You are given two isosceles triangles, that is triangle PBC and triangle QBC. These are the two isosceles triangles given where PB is equal to PC, these two sides are equal, and QB is equal to QC. Now what you have to prove? You have to prove that PQ is perpendicular bisector of BC. You have to prove that this line which joins both the points P and Q, that is the vertices of the triangle, is the perpendicular bisector of BC. That is, it divides BC into two equal parts as well as it is perpendicular to it. So proof of this. Now if we see triangle PBC, if you check out the triangle PBC, here you are given PB is equal to PC. PB and PC are equal. Therefore, or you can say that is P is equidistant from points B and C. The point P is equidistant from point B and point C. Hence, P lies on the perpendicular bisector of BC. This is because we know any point equidistant from two given points lies on perpendicular bisector of line segment joining the two given points. So this is the theorem 10.1 which you have done, and using this theorem we can say that P lies on the perpendicular bisector of BC. Now similarly, in triangle QBC, if you check out the second triangle QBC, what we have? We have QB is equal to QC. Now because QB and QC is equal, so we can say that Q is at equal distance from B and C. And again using the same theorem, we can say that Q lies on perpendicular bisector of BC. So hence Q lies on the perpendicular bisector of BC. Now we have two results. First says P lies on the perpendicular bisector of BC, and the second says Q lies on the perpendicular bisector of BC. So from 1 and 2, from result 1 and 2, both P and Q lie on the perpendicular bisector of BC. Now both these points, they lie on the perpendicular bisector of BC. If both the points are lying on the perpendicular bisector of BC, then we can say that the line which joins P and Q, hence PQ, is the perpendicular perpendicular bisector of BC. And this is what we had to prove, that PQ is the line which bisects BC at 90 degree. Bisect BC at 90 degree means perpendicular bisector of BC. Now if we move to question 7, there is a similarity in question 6 and 7. The only difference is that here the triangles, they are lying on the opposite side of the common base. Here there are two isosceles triangles which lie on the same side of the base. You can check out this. In figure, two isosceles triangles, that is triangle PQR and triangle SQR, are formed on same side of base QR. You have to prove that SP is perpendicular bisector of line QR. Now we will do it in the same way. Here also given triangle PQR and triangle SQR are isosceles triangles where PQ is equal to PR and SQ is equal to SR. You can see here this is one isosceles triangle where PQ and PR are equal. This is the second isosceles triangle where SQ and SR are equal. Now what we have to prove? That this line SP which is there, this is the perpendicular bisector of QR. So again we will move ahead with the same process what we did in question 6. Take the triangle, say triangle PQR. If you are taking this triangle, PQ is equal to PR, PQ is equal to RP. Hence we can say that P is equidistant from points Q and R. So point P is at equal distance from point Q and R. Hence P lies on perpendicular bisector of QR. Because it is at equal distance, so P lies on the perpendicular bisector of QR. And the reason, you are going to write down the same statement of theorem. We know that any point equidistant from two given points lies on perpendicular bisector of line segment joining the two given points. So the same theorem 10.1 is there. So with this we can say that P lies on the perpendicular bisector of QR. Now similarly, if we check out the second triangle, that is triangle SQR. Now if you take this triangle SQR, here you are given SQ is equal to SR. SQ is equal to SR. And if SQ and SR are equal, then using the same statement we can say that S lies on the perpendicular bisector of QR. So combining the two results, from result 1 and 2, what we have? We have that P and S both they lie on perpendicular bisector of QR. Or we can say that the line PS is perpendicular bisector of QR. And this is what we had to prove. Hence it is proved. Now let us move towards the next question. Question 8. It says in the given figure, bisector PS of angle P intersects side QR at S. SN is perpendicular to PQ and SM is perpendicular to PR. These are drawn. Prove that SN is equal to SM. This word is drawn here. So we are given PS, that it bisects angle P. Bisects angle P, so these two angles are equal. Also it is given that SN is perpendicular to PQ and SM is perpendicular to PR. Now what we have to prove? We have to prove that SN is equal to SM. So proof. You can have the two triangles, that is triangle PNS and triangle PMS. Take these two triangles and we will try to prove that these two are congruent. So in that case, triangle NPS is equal to angle MPS. NPS and MPS, these two angles, they are equal. They are equal because PS bisects angle P. Also, angle PNS is equal to angle PMS. They each are 90 degree. PNS, this is the angle, and PMS, this is the angle. So these two angles are also equal because we are given that the SN and SM, they are perpendiculars on PQ and PR, hence it is 90 degree each, and we have one common side, that is PS. Now just try to identify that which rule will be applicable in making triangle PSN congruent to triangle PSM. Now here if you see, this is one part, one angle equal, this is the second angle equal, and this is the common side. So this side which is equal is not the included side. It is not the side included between the two angles. So it cannot be ASA, but it will be AAS. The extra rule which had been created, AAS congruence rule, is being applied to make the two triangles congruent. And once these two triangles are congruent, then their corresponding parts will be equal. So hence SN is equal to SM. This is the corresponding parts of congruent triangles. Hence it is equal. Now if we move towards question number 9, the last question of this exercise, it says in the figure angle ABC is given. We are given an angle ABC. We have to find the locus of points equidistant from BA and BC and lying in the interior part of angle ABC. So here now you are given an angle ABC and there is you have to find the locus of those points which lie at equal distance from the two arms, that is BA and BC, and also they should lie in the interior part of angle ABC, means it should lie between these two arms, the points. So given angle ABC, to find locus of points equidistant from BA and BC. So let's have the solution of this. Take point P equidistant from BA and BC. Take a point P which is equidistant from BA and BC. Therefore, say this is PM, this is PN, PM is equal to PN, and we are taking equidistant, means this is the distance of the point from the two rays, hence PM is perpendicular to BA and PN is perpendicular to BC. So these conditions will be there. Now join BP. If you join this BP, or say you have to draw a ray BP, So now we are getting two triangles. So in triangle PMB and triangle PNB, what we have now? We have angle PMB equals to angle PNB, each 90 degree, because these are the perpendiculars drawn. So angle PMB and PNB, they are equal. PB is common side, or because it is a right angle triangle, both are right angle triangles, so it is the common hypotenuse. The side opposite to 90 degree is known as the hypotenuse, so PB is the common hypotenuse, and PM is equal to PN, because point P is at equal distance from BA and BC. Hence triangle PMB is congruent to triangle PNB. Now this is by which rule? 190 degree angle is there, one common hypotenuse, and one side is common, so it is by RHS congruence rule. Now these triangles are congruent, therefore the corresponding parts will be equal of the two triangles, that is these two angles, that is angle ABP is equal to angle CBP, corresponding parts of congruent triangles. Now these two angles are equal. These two angles being equal, what about this BP now? If the angles are equal, then what is BP? BP becomes the bisector of angle ABC. Hence BP is bisector of angle ABC. Now you see here, BP is the bisector of angle ABC and P lies on this bisector. So the motive of us which was there, that is we had to find the locus of points which are equidistant from BA and BC. So where will those points lie? This is only one point taken, there can be many other points also. So where will these points lie? These will all lie on the bisector of angle ABC. Hence locus of points equidistant from BA and BC and lying in the interior part of or interior of angle ABC is the bisector of angle ABC. So this is the locus. It will be the bisector of angle ABC. With this we come to the end of this exercise 10.1. In the next we will continue with the remaining part of this chapter. Till then, have a nice day. Thank you all. Jai Hind.